My question, Perry, is going back to those early days of when I know you were reading astounding science fiction and so forth. What was it about Dianetics that piqued your interest when you read about it in astounding science fiction? What was sort of the hook, if you look back on it now, that made you think this is something I want to follow up with?
The hook really depends upon my own earlier interest. I had a bachelor's degree in mathematics, and I minored in chemistry, physics, and psychology. Then I went on to graduate school, and I majored in math and minored in psychology. So I was capable of being a professional psychometrist later on for the U.S. Air Force and Civil Service Commission. But when I went into graduate school, I talked to the head of the psych department, and I says, my interest is that I would like to combine mathematics with psychology. And right away he says, oh, you mean statistics? And no, that isn't what I meant, but I could not explain what I meant. It was something that didn't exist in the world. And of course, I was a great admirer of John W. Campbell. As far as I'm concerned, he was the most creative and probably one of the people that did more in the world of not only entertainment, but in the field of science than any other man I'd ever read. And I could go into some of those things if you want. But so when he talked about Dianetics, I knew just from my own love of John W. Campbell and his writings that here was something that was really fascinating. You remember that, before I go any further, that John W. Campbell has a crater on Mars named after him, just like Isaac Asimov has. And people that subscribe to astounding science fiction, there was Werner von Braun, Einstein, Oppenheimer, and a whole lot of other people. So it wasn't just us nuts that were subscribing to it, but a lot of very intelligent people. So when I read this, I said, aha, this is what I've been looking for. And that's why I dug into it so deeply, because in a sense, when I got into the substrate of it by working with Hubbard, for example, I did find that there were certain principles like mathematics, logic, or logical philosophy, if you might say, that Hubbard had developed. Unfortunately, he didn't develop it as a entity in itself. He just embedded it in his work. And that's the kind of thing I was interested in.